Welcome back, guys and girls. It's final round day and we have a big chance of P1 today. No Music Man in our group this week. Me and me good friend McGrady, we're both in there and we were separated by 1 point yesterday. And as you can see, we have a real chance of getting a P1 position. You join me halfway through, 4 races, 186 points. We did drop 2 points in the first race, reason being max player, human player as well. So we did the best we could and we got 45 points. Looking at the tracks, I'm going to show you United Kingdom Silverstone. We've got Japan, everyone's favourite Canada and UAE. So with that, let's absolutely kick it off and let's go for P1. Let's go race 5, and I think we might have a human player here. It was a very quick matchup, but the team score is in our favour. So let's see if it is a human player or not. And it's only just in our favour when you look at it. We're P2 and P9, and we're starting off with a bit of rain, which is going to make it very interesting. Now, I'm going to go Hex on Max, and I'm going to go my favourite tuning on Sebastian. And we're going to try, I think it is definitely a real player, and we're going to try and bring Sebastian through here. So the real player will most likely use boosts, and we've got a full wet race here. And let's see if we can get the best start. So we have a real player, that's confirmed. And we've got Sebastian Vettel now into P6. Can we get P5? We can, but we've gone wide. So we're into P6, and Vettel is going to keep going around the outside, and P5 would be nice, and P5 is what we get. So we're going to settle down. We've got a real threat to our P6, P1 and 2 here, because obviously we've got a human player, so it's going to be tough. Going to be tough. We're going to boost Vettel around here, big overtaking spot down here, and we can't just get through. So I think a lot of the AI are going to go for a 3 laps on this and come back and do a 4-lap stint at the end. But we're going to conserve for now. Vettel's not got the best tyres. Obviously, he's got a 2 and a 4, whereas Verstappen's got a 3 and a 4. So we can't actually push too much. And where are we? So the rival is pushing. The rival is really pushing now. And we're just going to match the rival. And we're going to conserve. We don't need to push this guy. We're doing 4 laps. He looks like he's going for 3. And I'm going to believe in my ability that we're on the right strategy here. I'm going to keep boosting, just keeping him behind. He's wasting his tyres, and it's going to make it very hard for him to do 4 laps at the end. That's going to be pretty hard for him to do. So as we keep going, we've still got him behind, and he's definitely going to pit. So he's doing a 3-2-2, and that is pretty much a waste, mate, if I'm honest. That's not the strategy to do on here. And what have we got? We've got Sebastian behind Leclerc, and these should now pit. So I'm going to start to boost, and we are going to have a quick pit stop. But I can't obviously push Vettel too hard because of his tyres. And the rival is going to have to conserve a fair bit on that Hex. You can see Verstappen's absolutely flying now, and he's got an 8-second lead. And he comes into the pits. We've got Vettel in P3, and he's going to have a quick pit stop. So there's a chance he could get out in P4. And what we'll do is we'll try and put pressure on P2. So Vettel comes in. Max is going to take the lead, and he can push for 3, but I want to hold him up a little bit if I can. And we are back out with Vettel. So I'm going to try and strategically hold up Verstappen. And it's very risky, I know. But it's my best hope at the minute. And we are through this, we've navigated that. I'm going to boost in the sections that matter. And he's only got 50% tyres with 2 laps to go. So he's on the very cusp of tyre management. And we've got Vettel absolutely flying at the moment. So there's a chance we can get P1 and P2 here. Depending on if the rival pushes one bit, he's going to run out of tyres at the end. And here comes Vettel. Vettel now on the same straight as the rival. in the last corner of that section. And Vettel is flying. We've got Verstappen in P1. Vettel can pretty much see P2 now. And I don't think it looks good for him because he's only got about 30% tyres. And Vettel is steaming through. And we've got a very good chance now of P1 and P2. He can't push them tyres at all. So his question is, can Vettel get past Verstappen in this race? And will he run out of tyres at the end? Now we can't overtake through here, so I am going to conserve. And then we're going to boost again. And the rival now starts to push. Vettel takes a really bad line through there. And I think he's going to hold on. Just hold on. He is. He's just going to hold on for P2. So close. We couldn't have done any more there. He just ran out of tyres on the line. But it is P1 and P3. And that's the difference without swiping and that in the game now. You get a matchup with a human player. It's always going to be harder to get 47 points. But if you can't get 47 points, make sure you get 46. So that is P1 and P3. And it is 46 points in the UK. Race number 6. Suzuka. And it is raining. We've got a 25% chance of rain. And it is raining. So hopefully our drivers start a bit higher up on the grid. P2 and P4. So that's exactly what we needed. And we have got a start in the dry, which could be very interesting indeed. So I'm going to go for the Eagle. And I'm going to go for the Kauai. And I've probably put them on the wrong one because ideally I want the tyres on Vettel, but I haven't got enough time to change it. So we are dealing with it as we deal with it. And we've only got 1:30 until the rain comes in. So this is going to make interesting play. And how do we start? We start P1 and P2 from the first corner. Great start by Verstappen and Vettel, showing why they are true world champions in F1. And we are going to keep boosting until the hairpin. We're going to make sure we cancel that pit. And we are going to start to conserve. Behind us, we've got Norris on the dries, Russell, and I think it was Leclerc, with Max Verstappen in the middle of them on the hards. So, I'm still going to try and do 4 laps. We're probably not going to get it because of the rain coming in. But we're going to keep pushing on with the strategy. The rival is probably nothing to worry about, but it's all about changing to wets here. And we've got Norris behind us, who is very good in the wet. And it's going to make it interesting play. So I might have to start boosting with one driver before the other. I might have to start boosting with Verstappen potentially this lap. But it depends how long the rain comes in for. If the rain is over 30 seconds, we probably do want to start on getting on wets. But it's all about the right call. So we've at least got 1 lap remaining on these tyres. And the rain will find out shortly if it is good enough to come into the pits. But we're going to keep going. And we're going to start to boost Verstappen now. Because we need to build the gap in case we do need to pit this lap. And what does the rain look like? It looks like 2 minutes. So we are going to need to pit. So we are going to keep pushing. And I might do an extra lap on both drivers here. I'm going to risk doing it because Vettel's not the strongest on 4 laps. So I'm going to go around again. And we are then going to come in. And I'm going to hope that Aaron's picked the right strategy. And it's not a Ferrari strategy here. But Norris does come out in P3. I was hoping Norris would get a bit of traffic. But we are coming up to the crossover. But remember, both of my drivers are good in the wet. They are good at pretty much 80. But we're going to have power all the way. And you can see now Vettel starting to struggle. And that gap is going to start coming down very shortly. But Max will come in. Vettel will just run out of tyres at the end of the stint. And the question is, will Vettel get ahead of Norris? It's going to be close. It's going to be very close. Here he comes. Norris comes down. And we get Vettel out in front. Big, big move that was. Timed it to perfection. I think a few seconds later we would have been struggling. But now we can do 3 laps to the end and we have nothing to worry about. It is going to start drying, but it is cloudy, so it is going to take quite a few laps to dry out. So we should be good for another P1, P2 here in the wet of Suzuka. And we have our next famous track coming up, which is Canada, where P1 could easily be won or lost. So that should be fun, eh guys? So we are carrying on round P1 and P2. We're about to lap the opponent. Nice little confidence booster there as we lap P20. And Vettel keeping Verstappen honest here. They're only 1.5, so that Kawhi looks quite good in the wet. As we do lap the opponent's Vettel. 1 lap to go. Verstappen not the best on fuel, so Vettel will probably come through at the end of this race. And that Kawhi is working really well in the rain. There is back markers, but it seems to be pretty powerful. And we'll see who wins this race, but I think Vettel will probably outdo his opponent here. Verstappen's being told to cut down because you're low on fuel. Vettel's got power to the end. And who's going to take the victory? It's going to be Sebastian Vettel wins the Suzuka Grand Prix with Max Verstappen in P2, with the rival in absolutely no man's land. The rival drowning in the rain as we come out victorious. 47 points, 2 races to go. Race 7, Montreal, Canada. And this is the most important race of the championship round. In the champions, and we've got a good matchup which is going to help us tremendously. And we have Max Verstappen in P2 and Sebastian Vettel in P8. So we are going to have to try and hold the field up, and we are going to go quick pit stop in with our Vettel. And we've got to try it. We've got to get the drivers up the field with Vettel. We could do with 47. It's a big race, and hopefully we can get a good start. But Max has been getting good starts for the AI, and he blocks us off again. But we are going to come through and keep P2. And Vettel has lost position. He's kept it. He's in P9 now. But the problem is, it's a tricky track to start this race. And Max is down in P2. Vettel settles in P9. And that's not too bad at this front. What have we got tyre-wise? We've got Max on hard, so we do need to dispatch him pretty quickly as that rival gets overtook. So we're going to keep pushing Max. Can we get ahead into this corner? We can't. And the rival's pushing a little bit here as well. So we got hard tyres for some of the front running cars. And we are just going to hang in here as we get P8. Great move by Vettel. We just missed that one. But I'm in no rush to get past Max here because he's holding up the field anyway. And what about Vettel? Can we get Norris? Not quite. Norris is on hard, so we want to get past Norris. Can we get him into this corner? Up the inside turn 1, and we have a safety car. We have a safety car, and it will be coming out for lap 4. So let's work it out. So lap 4, we're going to go round again. And the question is, do we pit? The answer is yes, I'm pitting. Because lap 4, we're going to go round. We're going to jump the field potentially when they all then come into the pits. It's our best chance, I feel. It might bite us. It really might bite us, this. It's a risk. But if you want to win, you've got to risk. So Verstappen will come out in P6. Vettel is going to get hammered in terms of position. P14. But we don't have to pit again at the end of this lap. Probably didn't want to come out as low as P14. But we are going to be clear to the end now. And we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars pit at the end of this lap on the softs. and I'm going to be good to go to the end. So will it work? Will the risk in Canada pay off? And it's how quickly can Vettel get past the first corner by the time that these leading cars come back out on the track. That's the key, because at the minute we're already 5 seconds behind and it's going to get a bit chaos now. So we carry on round, and some of the softs have pitted, some haven't. So we're going to probably stretch out a bit here, and that's probably not what I wanted, but we want to keep the power on. We don't want to lose any more positions, and we want to gain. But let's look at Vettel. Vettel is still 5.3 behind the leader, but I think the leader might go round again on them hards. So we're going to keep at it. Still 5.7, so we should start jumping people here, but we can't get past Bottas. We can now though, and we're not going to get past the Mercedes though, which comes out. So we can't get past the Mercedes. We've now got Max in P1. And we are going to have to conserve a little bit. So we are going to get ahead to an extent of a lot of these cars, but it's not going to be absolutely brilliant. But it's probably a lot better from where we were. So Vettel comes round as they all filter into the pits, and we are up to P5, and we've still got 2 cars ahead, and we are going to push a little bit. I'm going to have to conserve on the last lap, but we need to close the gap, and hopefully we can take P3 here. Let's keep pushing. See if we can get Russell into this first corner. This is a massive opportunity. We've gone for it. We haven't took it. And that is pretty much all we can push, because Vettel is going to run out of fuel tyres. But we might have one more chance in this race. Might have one more. Is it into the last corner? Into the chicane? Can we take George Russell? Here we go. And we can't. But it's 46 points in Canada. That's massive. Very hard track. So I will take 46 points all day long. And you can see the rival struggled. He's got P9 and P21. But that is a very, very hard track navigated with 46 points. The last race, Abu Dhabi. Can we get P1 for the very first time in Champions on F1 Clash? And we've got a good matchup to finish. We've got P2 and P8 for Sebastian Vettel. And we're going to do our 4 and 4. And we're going to get a bit of tyre help on Sebastian with that lumberjack. And I'm also going to use Rooster on Max, because I want to hold the field up again. So here we go. It's nervy time. This is where champions are made in this last race. Abu Dhabi. We all know that's where the controversy has been before. And Vettel doesn't get a great start, but manages to jump back up the inside. And Vettel into P5. And we're going to cut down Max. But can we get P4 off Norris? We'll keep him boosting. And ideally I want the sort of field to group up a bit now. But what we got behind us, we've got hard, so we're probably not going to have that. But Vettel is into P4 already. Massive, massive race at our hands. The old hairs are on the arms, sticking up. And the heart is beating that little bit more. And we are in with a very good opportunity. So Vettel comes down. Now, the 2 ahead are going to pit lap 4 and lap 5. And behind us is going to be lap 5 and lap 4. So we're going to be okay here. Max is absolutely fine out front. He could easily do 5 laps on that tyre, bearing in mind that he's in no rush. The question is, what about safety cars later in the race? Obviously, you've already witnessed one of them. But we're going to keep going round, and we're not losing too much time. Max is now closing on Max, but we have got the best sort of blocking that we can use with decent grip and tyre management. So let's get Vettel through this part pretty quick and set up his momentum, because he is closing on P3 and we are about to start boosting with Vettel. So here we go, from the last sort of 2 corners, like here, we are now going to kick in to a boost. Ideally, we need to get past Hamilton very, very quickly, and Sebastian did that for me. Great move by Sebastian. Verstappen is holding up Verstappen, and we are going to just boost a little bit through this corner, and you can see the power of a boost because he absolutely flew through there. And now Vettel, I am going to stick back on hards because I want to go to the end, and that's a great move up the inside, and he'll come into the pits. So I am on hards, but that's fine. Verstappen goes round again and come back out on the softs. We get Verstappen still in the pits, and we're going to have a few people overtake us here. So we can get ahead of P5. And what about P3? Can we jump him? We don't need to. We don't really need to push this at all. But we are going to, because it's all good fun, and we are in P3. So we're going to push this as far as our fuel can allow us. And this should set us up for P1 and P2. We've got the Mercedes now coming into the pits of Hamilton as our Max comes out the pits. And hopefully this should be a kind of a victory lap to go. But never say never, because if a safety car comes out, which it shouldn't now be in lap 6, we would be a lot slower tyre. But we've absolutely navigated. In opening round, we did get a Max opponent on here, so it was very difficult. So we have took some points back in certain areas. But that Rooster definitely holds the field up for me, and it allows Vettel with his overtaking and speed to come through the field. So Verstappen is good to go to the end. Vettel is going to be lower on fuel at the end, but he has got about an 8-second gap over P3. But we're going to keep running it until we are short, just in case. As Max Verstappen starts to lap the field, lapping P23 now. And hopefully we have no absolute sort of messiness to this race. You can see Vettel's sort of lowering on fuel now. We won't be able to push him all the way, but we just got to navigate the back markers, and hopefully we have the best possible chance we have ever had in Champion GP. And here we are, we're coming over to finish final round. P1 and P2. Verstappen goes through and wins the race. 24 points for him. Sebastian Vettel will come through on P2. And to show you the final scores of my GP, we are going to have a delayed watch because Sebastian Vettel, for the rival, decided to pit lap 7 and only just come out the pits. But we have given it a shot, guys. We've had some tough matchups. We've had some dodgy weather. But we have scored fairly decent. We've scored more than yesterday, I think. Yesterday we scored 371. And I think we're on about 373 this week of final round. So we've improved our scores. But let's see if it is 373 or 372. I can't remember. But either way, I don't think it's lower than 371. So let's have a look. Final round complete for as a WF1. It is 372 points for myself. And yeah, some hard races. Race 1 was difficult against a human player. And we had race in Silverstone at race 5 against a human player. And Canada, race 7 is Canada, as you all know. In the opening round, that's what it looked like, 371. So we've gained a point. And we look forward to our good friend McGrady. See where he can finish. Good luck to him. And he got 370 in the opening round. And fingers crossed, guys, P1 for the first time ever. But let's wait and see. Thanks for watching. As always, I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.